Okay, so we are about to work on DGP week 4. Now, we have already done Monday, Tuesday, and some of us may have done Wednesday, but I'm going to go ahead and do it with you again just to be sure. And it may not open, so we're just going to have that kind of trouble today, I guess. All right, so for Wednesday. Okay. All right, for Wednesday, the first thing we need to do is to put our sentence in brackets, okay? So I'm going to insert a bracket here. May not be in the best spot. All right, and I'm going to insert another bracket here. There it goes. All right, let's go. Let me go back. Before we go any further, let's go back and check what you have here, okay, and make sure that it is correct. So on Monday, you have did as a helping verb, okay? What is who can tell me what your verb phrase is in this sentence? What's your verb phrase? Grant. Did chew. All right, did chew. Your is a second person pronoun. All right, what other two words with your will always be second person pronouns?
You and yours.
You and your. Okay, so you, your, and yours will always be second person pronoun. All right, dog is what part of speech? A noun, a common noun, so we have a little n. Chew is an action verb past tense. The is an article adjective. What other two words are article adjectives and will always be an article adjective? A and an. Good. All right. Blue is an adjective because it's doing what? Describing slippers. Good. And slippers is a common noun. Very good. All right. So what is the simple subject of your sentence for Tuesday? Dog. All right. Did the dog chew who or did the dog chew what?
What?
All right. It chewed what? Slippers. So being we can answer who or what after the verb, that means that slippers is our direct object. Because we have a direct object, is our verb transitive or intransitive? Transitive. Okay. We also have what we call an inverted subject, and that means that our subject comes between the what? Predicate, okay? If we rewrote it to your dog did chew the blue slippers, it's easier to identify your subject and your predicate, okay? All right, so for Wednesday, we need to make sure that we have our sentence in brackets. All right, now, does this sentence have a subject? Does this sentence have a verb? Does this sentence or does this question express a complete thought? Yes, it does. Okay, we have one subject, we have one verb, and one complete thought. All right, this sentence, can it stand on its own? Yes, so is it independent or dependent?
Independent.
It is independent. Good. So we're going to type ind.cl. Now, you told me we have one subject, one verb, and one complete thought. Okay, so what type of sentence does this give us?
Simple.
A simple sentence. Very good. Now, is this sentence asking a question, making a statement, giving a command, or it's It's not making a statement. It's asking a question. Okay, so a sentence that asks a question, what is it called? Interrogative. The purpose of this sentence is interrogative. The abbreviation is INT. So your answer for today should be ind.cl-ss-int. All right, Thursday, you need to capitalize did. So I am going to highlight or underline my D here. All right. And then I'm just, because I'm on Cami, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write a capital D above this. All right. Does anything else in my sentence need capitalizing?
No.
All right. What? I need to insert a what?
Question mark.
A question mark. All right. Now we're going to diagram our sentence. The first step in diagramming is always to draw a horizontal line. And you will see that we have our horizontal line here, right here. Okay. Here is my vertical line that goes through my horizontal line. Now, what always comes before the first horizontal line? The subject. Very good. And what is my subject? Dog. Now, what word is describing my dog that should be on this slanted line right here? What word? It has to be before the vertical line. Your. All right. And what goes after the first vertical line? The predicate. Okay. Now I have a verb phrase here, so I need two words. What is my verb phrase? Did chew. I heard somebody say it up at the front. Good job, Grant. All right. Did chew who or did chew what? My direct object always goes after the second vertical line that intersects the horizontal line. Okay, so what is my direct object here? Slippers. Now, the words that describe, all right, slippers goes here, and they go in chronological order of the way they appear in the sentence. So on this first horizontal or this first slanted line, what am I going to put? B. What goes on the second? Blue. All right, and that is all you have to do for this week's DGP. Now, when do you have a test on this? Friday, which is when? Tomorrow. You will also have some questions that refer back to week 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if I ask you to identify the subject in week 1 sentence, then I need for you to be able to do that. I'm going to give you the sentence, but I need for you to show me that you can apply what we are learning. All right? Okay, what I need for you to do now is you need to flip in your packet to Wordly Wise 5A. All right. If you are in Schoology, that is going to be in second 9 weeks, module 5, and then you're going to go to Thursday, November the 12th. Thursday, November the 12th, and we're going to click on Wordly Wise, lesson 5A. Open with Cami. Yes, 5A word meanings.
I don't see it.
It is page 25 in your packet. Page 25 in your packet. All right, this is something that we have done from the get-go, okay? Number one. All right, number one. I did for you. To evolve is to pretend to be in a position one does not hold. To evolve is to remain in one position without moving. To posture is to pretend to be in a position one doesn't hold. To posture is to be in one position without moving. Okay, it is B and C. If you were to remain in a position without moving, what would that be called? Freezing. Okay? But if you're posturing yourself, that doesn't mean that you are not trying to move your body at all. That just means that you're trying to hold it in a good posture, I'm assuming. Okay? All right, so you should have highlighted or underline, either one, that is fine. All right, and then you had to write the sentence out. Number two, to attire someone is to dress that person. To captivate someone is to dress that person. To attire someone is to make fun of that person. To captivate someone is to make fun of that person. Miriam, what goes together? B and C. So I want to underline or highlight. And then I need to type in my sentence. To attire someone is to dress that person. All right, number three, a deft move is one that is made in an uncertain way. A deft move is one that is repeated over and over. A tentative move is one that is made in an uncertain way. A tentative move is one that is repeated over and over. Anybody? What is your definition for tentative? Look at your word list or look at your quad cards. You should look at your word list because your quad cards should have been completed. All right, the definition for deft is quick and sure, skillful at handling. Okay? And then tentative means, from your word list, the exact definition is not fully worked out or final, hesitating or uncertain. It's D and B, tentative in an uncertain way. D and B. Your context clue would be uncertain. A tentative move is one that is made in an uncertain way. All right, number four. The definition of tranquility is calm and peaceful. The state of being calm, the state of being peaceful. The definition according to your word list for evolve or evolution is the change that takes place as something evolves. Okay, so tranquility is a coordination of poor health. Tranquility is a gradual change over time. Evolution is a gradual change over time, or evolution is a condition of poor health. Aubrey.
DNA.
DNA, good. Gabe, whatever you're doing, you need to stop and pay attention to what I'm doing. All right. Evolution is gradual change over time. All right. A diligent person is one who engages in foolish or playful acts. A diligent person is one who makes an effort to exercise. A versatile person is one who engages in foolish or playful acts. A versatile person is one who makes an effort to exercise. Makes an effort. All right, let's look up your definitions real quick. Working with great care and effort is diligent, and and versatile is being able to go back and forth. Okay, so if you're making effort to do something, then that means you are very diligent about it. So what would your answer be? A and D. A diligent person is one who makes an effort to exercise. Number 6, to stifle someone is to fill that person with joy. To stifle someone is to cut off that person's air supply. To eclipse someone is to fill that person with joy, or to eclipse someone is to cut off that person's air supply. It's stifling in the summertime, and it makes it hard to what? All right, so what are my answers here?
A and D.
A and D. All right, I need to write my sentence out. To stifle someone is to cut off that person's supply of air. I feel like some of you are not writing your answers down with me as you should be. So when I take your packet up and I grade it at the end, or when we come back from Thanksgiving break, you might not have the best grade if your pages are not complete. Versatility is the state of being at peace. Versatility is the unwillingness to change one's mind. Tranquility is the state of being at peace. Tranquility is an unwillingness to change one's mind. Now, we already talked about this definition of tranquility today. Okay, what does the word tranquility mean? The state of being at peace. Good. All right, so we're going to underline tranquility, and it goes with what? C. All right, so tranquility. Well, I'm not even typing anything here. Tranquility is the state of being at peace. All right, number 8. Something that is inscribed is written into a permanent record. Something that is inscribed is carried out in secret. Something that is innate is written into a permanent record. Something that is innate is carried out in secret.
A and C.
A and C, good. So we need to underline A and C. And then we need to type our sentence in. Something that is inscribed is written into a permanent record. All right, inscribed could be like engraved. That could be a synonym, okay? Number 9, an eclipse is a silly or playful act. An eclipse is a covering for a dead body.
B
A and B.
A shroud is a silly or play. I feel like I might.
It's A and B.
D is D and A. Shroud. Go look up that definition. All right, D, a shroud.
Oh yeah, it's A.
All right, something that covers or hides from view. Cloth used to wrap a dead body before burial to block from sight. Okay, so our most definite answer is a shroud is a covering for a dead body. A shroud is a covering for a dead body. No, that is Lord, what is that called? An arrangement. All right, does everybody have this? All right, so let's go back to the first of your packet and look and see what Thursday 11/12 says. For those of you that are virtual, all you need to do is look at your schedule that is posted in Module 2, Lesson 5. We have done DGP Week 4. Your quad cards, if you didn't do them, you won't get to use anything on your test. You just keep that in mind. We have completed Wordly Wise Lesson 5A. Now, if you have your book, Number the Stars, you need to get it out.
You supposed to buy a book?
If you have your book, Number the Stars,
I didn't know it was a book.
I gave you a sheet.
I didn't no, you didn't give me a sheet.
All right, so you need to get out your book.
It is 7. You gotta lock me down after you class.
If you do not have a book, raise your hand. Excuse me, but I did not ask for you to run your mouth. The only thing that I did ask for you to do is to get out your book. You need to, in your packet, flip to the comprehension questions for Number the Stars.
Read it. Andy has a couple.
Oh, no. Some of the pages.
Remember the stars?
Yes. All right, you need to get out all you need on your desk. Listen, All you need on your desk is your Number the Stars book and your packet. I want everything else removed from your desk. You do need something to write with. Okay, I do not want a binder on your desk. I do not want extra pencils on your desk. The only thing I want on your desk is your book and your comprehension questions.
Are they in the packet?
They're in the packet, and I'll tell you what page in just a second. Graylee and Hayden was wrong. Page 26 in your packet.
I ain't got that.
If you purchased your own book and you have it today, and I have not taken a Sharpie or a permanent marker and written your name on the front of it real big, bring it to me and let me do that, because I do not want someone to grab your book.
I don't mind like that. That's what inside of
I'm gonna write it. YAN. I still did not ask you to talk. All right. So I meant to bring a speaker from home today, and I walked out and I forgot it, because we all know the speaker that I have in my classroom is not the greatest. All right, so we're going to cut the air conditioners off for right now. Okay, Miriam? Yes. All right, we're going to cut the air conditioners off. I have one. I just need to read it. No, I have it on me right now. Oh, by all means. How do you plug it in?
Oh, it is wireless.
Chapter 1, Why Are You Ready? I'll race you to...
Is it charged, Eli?
Yes.
Here, come here. Oh, powering on. What is it?
I don't know what it's called. I think it's 16 something. You just have to. That one. You just have to turn it up. Okay. Once it connects. I hope it's still not connected.
Pairs. Maximum volume.
And you just have to turn it up on your normal.
Perfect. You're awesome. All right, so let me tell you something about Number the Stars, okay? We've done all of the background information on this book, okay? We've learned about Lois Lowry. We've learned about the time period that the novel takes place. We have learned about the German occupation, the German or the what am I looking for? The Danish resistance. Okay, this story, everything that you have learned so far is about to start playing out. Okay, now in your packet, you need to be opened to page 26. Number the Stars, basic comprehension questions. Okay. in your packet. If you are virtual, it is listed in your Schoology on today's folder. Okay, you can complete it in Cami and submit it. Now, for those of you that are in class, we are going to listen to all 3 of these chapters today. And you can answer the questions as you go, or if you prefer to listen and then answer at the end, that is fine as well. Okay? Yes, if you do not finish answering the comprehension questions in class, though, they will become homework. Okay? And because of our time right now, I'm not going to stop the recording during each chapter. I'll stop at the end of each chapter and like do a little recap, and then we'll keep going. Okay? But I need for you to have your complete attention. Gabe, you're still not on the right page in your packet. Grant. Yes. When you answer your questions, you can write the answer up underneath the question, beside it, wherever. Because there are so many questions, your answers are very, very short and to the point. Okay. I would just write them on here.
Do you have it in your because while you're not using it, I will because it's probably not it's charger.
What's the question?
I might have something. If I don't know, I won't use it all day. I'll just make do with what I have.
It's fine if you don't use it, because if you need to keep using it, I can run a charger for you. It charges really fast.
Okay. Thank you. You are the bomb. All right, here we go. Okay. Hold on. What happened?
Oh, wait. You have to turn it off on that. Is it not connected? Because I know the speaker's one of the ones. Is it connected to a different thing too?
I just undid it.
Ellen hesitated, then nodded and shook her head like sounding children. Oh, all right. Ready? She said. Go. For
Yeah, here.
Powering on.
It's on.
Look, while we're waiting for this to connect.
Do you have a phone? It can connect to a phone.
Yeah.
I would recommend using your phone because I used it on the bus to see how loud it was. It's like louder than this.
Oh, wait.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Turn it all the way up.
Maximum volume. Anne-Marie looked up, panting, just as she reached the corner. Her laughter stopped. Her heart seemed to skip a beat. Halt, the soldier ordered in a strong voice. The German word was as familiar as it was frightening.
I'm going to start it over. Okay. You're going to have to be quiet and read along. I'm going to start it over.
Two sets of cold eyes glaring at her, and four close and it meant she felt her, gripped in the hands of the soldier. She stared at the rifle strokes. Then finally, she looked into the face of the soldier she had ordered her to catch. I'll race you to the corner.
All right, chapter 1.
I'll race you to the corner, Ellen. And Marie flustered the thick leather hat. Ready? She looked at her best friend. Ellen made a face. No, she said, you know I can't beat you. My legs are
Next to your phone.
He took her walk, the boys under. She was a solid and lanky friend. We don't practice for the life of my brother. I know I'm going to win the girls' race this week. I was second at my street, but I've been practicing everywhere. Come on, Ellen. And Marie pleaded, eyeing the distance to the next corner of the kitchen in the street. Please? Ellen hesitated, then nodded and shook her red rucksack of books and used her shoulders. Oh, all right. Ready? She said. Go, said Anne-Marie, and her two girls were off, racing along the residential sidewalk. Emily's silvery blonde hair flew behind her, and Ellen's dark pigtails matched the most of her hair. Wait for me, they all said fiercely, left behind, but Bessie always was not Bessie. Emily outdistanced her friend quickly, even though one pursuit came in flight, she sped along the street called Osterwald, past the small shops and cafes of the neighborhoods along southeast and northeast Copenhagen. Laughing, she started an elderly lady in black who showed the shopping mall for the skirting. A young woman pushing a baby in a crate from the side of the thread. The corner was straight ahead. Emily looked up, panting, just as pleased with him. Her laughter stopped. Her heart seemed to skip a beat. Halt! Was heard with a order in a stern voice. The German word was as familiar as it was frightening. Emily had heard it often enough before, but it had never been directly at her until now. Behind her, Ellen also slowed and stopped. All around, there were three cities flying along, replacing the crowd because the girls hadn't moved with her. Emily slowed up. There were two of them. That meant two helmets, two sets of cold eyes glaring at her, and four tall tiny boots, turning on the head up, walking behind her. And it meant two rifles, built in the hands of the soldier. She stared for rifles first. Then finally, she looked into the face of the soldier who had ordered her to halt. Why are you running? The harsh voice asked. His gaze was very pure. 3 years Emily thought with contempt. 3 years they've been in our country and still they can't speak our language. I was racing with my friends, she answered politely. We have races at school every Friday and I want to do well, so her voice trailed away, the sentence unfinished. Don't talk so much, she said with her. Just answer him, that's all. She glanced up. Ellen was motionless on the sidewalk a few yards behind her. Farther back, Kirsty was still searching and walking slowly for her friend. Nearby, a woman returned to the doorway of the shop with a smiling siren, flashing. One of the soldiers, the taller one, moved toward her. Emily recognized him as the one she and Ellen always called in the store the giraffe, because of his height and the long neck that extended from his stiff collar. He and his partner were always in his corner. He prodded the corner of her backpack with the stock of his rifle. Emily trembled. What is in here? He asked loudly. From the corner of her eye, she saw the shopkeeper move quietly backward from the shadows of the doorway out of sight. School books, she answered truthfully. Are you a day student? The soldier asked. He seemed to be smiling. Yes. What is your name? Emily Dennison. Your friend, is she a good student too? She was looking beyond her at Ellen, behind her. Emily looked back too and saw that Ellen's face, usually rosy cheeked, was pale, and her dark eyes were gone. She nodded at the soldier. Better than me, she said. What is her name? Ellen. Emily's lips, she replied, looking to Emily's eyes. Kirsten had appeared there suddenly, scowling at everyone. My little sister. She reached out to Kirsty's hand, but Kirsty, always stubborn, refused it, and her hand was fixed upon it. The soldier reached out and stroked the little sister's short and gentle. Stay still, Kirsty, Emily ordered silently. Then, somehow the obstinate tiger was confused. Yet Kirsty reached up and pushed the soldier's hand. Don't, she said loudly. Both soldiers began to laugh. They spoke to each other in rapid German that was rich and understanding. She is pretty, like my own girl, the tall one said in his quiet voice. Emily tried to smile a little. Go home, all of you. Go study your school. And don't run. You look like football if you walk. The two soldiers turned away. Quickly, Emily reached out her hand and grabbed her sister's hand before Kirsty could resist. Hurrying the little girl along, she wanted her phone. In a moment, Ellen was beside her. They walked quickly, not speaking, with Kirsty behind them, toward the large apartment building where both families lived. When they were almost home, Ellen whispered sharply, "Are you stressed?" Me too, Emily whispered back. As they turned to enter the building, both girls looked straight ahead toward the door. They did it purposely so that they would not catch the eyes or the attention of two more soldiers who stood with their guns in this corner in front. Kirsty scurried ahead and then through the door, chattering about the picture she was bringing home from kindergarten to show Molly. For Kirsty, the soldiers were simply part of the landscape, something that had always been there on every corner, as unimportant as lampposts throughout her remembered life. Are you going to tell your mother? Ellen asked one of the boys, who hunched together on the stairs. No, my mother would be upset. No, I wouldn't either. Mama would probably scold me for running on the street. She said goodbye to Ellen on the second floor where Ellen lived and continued on to the third, practicing in her mind a cheerful greeting to her mother. With a smile and a description of today's sewing in which she was very much, but she was through it. She had gotten like her. As we poked Anna's book bag with his gun and did jump my hair. Kirsty was chattering as she took off her sweater in the center of the apartment. But I wasn't scared. Anne Marie was, and Ellen too, but not me. Mrs. Johansson rose quickly from the chair by the window where she was sitting. Mrs. Rosen, Ellen's mother, was there too, in the opposite chair. They'd been having coffee together as they did many afternoons. Of course, they were not so the mother still called it having coffee. There had been no real coffee in Copenhagen since the beginning of the Nazi occupation. Not even real tea. The mother sipped at hot water flavored with herbs.
Sorry.
Anne Marie, what happened? What is Kirsty talking about? Her mother asked anxiously. With Mrs. Rosen let her head down. Ellen's in your apartment. She didn't realize you were here when you were. Don't worry, there wasn't anything. It was the two soldiers who stayed on the corner close to. Oh. Mrs. Rosen even said, trying to make it sound human something important, that there only be left for you. I slapped this man and shouted at him, Kirsty announced importantly. No, she didn't, Mama. No, very years old for nothing. She's exaggerating as she always does. Mrs. Johansson moved to the window and looked down at the street below. The Copenhagen living room was quiet. The lift was filled with all. People coming and going from the shops. Children were coming. The soldiers were coming. She spoke in a low voice to Ellen's mother. There must be edging until there was resistance incident. Did you read in Weekly once about the bombings of Norad and Norad? Although she pretended to be absorbed in the passion of stories, and really listened, and she knew that her mother was referring to. These three dogs, or three ladies, was an only one with her. She didn't listen to Mama kind of listening, but she told her that it didn't much ordinary life, and Mama always phoned it after being on the wall. But in her heard Mama and Papa talk, sometimes at night, about the news they received that day. And there was a sabotage of the Nazis, bombs taken, and exploded in the factories to be more material. And the industrial railroad lines through it so that the goods could be sent. And she knew what resistance meant. Having no time to interpret the word, the resistant fighters were Danish people. No one knew who because they were very secret. Who were determined to bring harm to the Nazis however they could. They damaged the German trucks and cars and left in the factories. They were very brave. Sometimes they were fought and killed. I must go and speak to Ellen, Mrs. Rosen said, moving toward the door. You girls like a different way of school tonight. Promise me, Ellen, and Ellen will promise me. You will, Mrs. Rosen, but look at the bed. There are dirty children on every corner. They will remember your faces, Mrs. Rosen said, turning in the door into the hall. It is important to be one of the fathers, always. Remember to name. Be sure that you never have a reason to remember your face. She disappeared into the hall and closed the door behind her. You'll remember my face, Mommy, Kirsty was confident, because he said I looked like a pretty little girl. He said I was pretty. If he was such a pretty little girl, why didn't he go back to her in the first place? Mrs. Johansson murmured, stroking Kirsty's cheek. Why didn't he go back to his own country? Mama, is there anything to eat? And no, hoping to take some out of my way and soldiers. Take some bread and give a piece to your sister. With butter? Kirsty asked hopefully. Your butter, her mother replied. Kirsty sighed as Anne Marie went to the bread box in the kitchen. I wish I could have a cupcake, she said. A big yellow cupcake with pink frosting. Her mother laughed. Now, little girl, you have a long memory, she told Kirsty. There haven't been any butter or sugar for cupcakes for a long time. A year at least. When will we cupcakes again? When the war ends, Mrs. Johansson said. She glanced in the window down to the street where the soldiers stood, their faces impassive beneath the metal height. Then the soldiers sleep.
Okay.
Chapter 2.
Before we go to chapter 2, who are the two main characters so far in Number of the Stars? Anne Marie and Ellen. Okay, they were doing what at the very, very beginning?
They were racing.
They were racing. Okay, and what happened while they were racing?
They stumbled on two German soldiers.
They got stopped by 2 German soldiers, and what did the German soldiers want to know? Why are you running? Okay. What did they call the German soldiers? What did one of the girls call the German soldier? A giraffe.
Because of his neck. And how tall he is.
Okay, because of his neck and because of how tall he is. Why are the soldiers on the corner?
Because
They're looking for what or who? They're looking for Jews, okay? The Germans are looking for Jews. It might not be a question, but it might not be a question on your study guide, but it's something that I need to make sure that you know. During this time though, they are out of a lot of groceries, okay? What is the one thing, or what are the couple of things that they are out of? They're out of sugar. What else?
Coffee and tea.
Coffee and tea, okay? So, like, when they get a piece of bread or something like that, it is a sweet treat for them, okay? Why do the girls need to take a different route to school?
because the German soldiers might remember what they look like.
Because the German soldiers might remember what they look like, okay? And they do not need to encounter that again. All right, so we know that Ellen is that Anne-Marie is friends with Ellen. Can you tell who is the regular Danes and who is the Jewish Danes yet? Who? Anne-Marie's family is Danish and Ellen's family are Jews. Okay? All right, we're going to keep on going to chapter 2.
The man who rides fast. Tell me a story, Anne-Marie, begged Kirsty as she snuggled beside her sister in the big bed they shared. Tell me a fairy tale. Anne-Marie smiled and wrapped her arms around her little sister in the dark. All Danish children grew up familiar with fairy tales. Hans Christian Andersen, the most famous of the tale tellers, had been Danish himself. Do you want the one about the little mermaid? That one had always been Anne-Marie's own favorite. But Kirsty said no. Tell one that starts with a king and a queen, and they have a beautiful daughter. All right. Once upon a time there was a king, Anne-Marie began. And a queen, whispered Kirsty. Don't forget the queen. And a queen. They lived together in a wonderful palace, and was the palace named Amalienborg? Kirsty asked sleepily. Shh, don't keep interrupting, or I'll never finish the story. No, it wasn't Amalienborg. It was a companion palace. Anne-Marie talked on, making up a story of the king and queen and their beautiful daughter, Princess Kirsty. She sprinkled her tale with formal balls, fabulous gold-trimmed gowns, and feast of pink frosted cupcakes, until Kirsty's deep, even breathing told her that her sister was sound asleep. She stopped, waited for a moment, half expecting Kirsty to murmur. Then what happened? But Kirsty was still. Anne-Marie's thoughts turned to the real king, Christian X, and the real palace in Amalienborg, where he lived in the center of Copenhagen. How the people of Denmark loved King Christian. He was not like fairy tale kings who seemed to stand on balconies giving orders to subjects, or who sat on golden thrones demanding to be entertained and looking for suitable husbands for their daughters. King Christian was a real human being, a man with a serious, kind face. She had seen him often when she was younger. Each morning he had come from the palace on his horse Jubilee and ridden alone through the streets of Copenhagen, greeting his people. Sometimes when Anne-Marie was a little girl, her older sister Lise had taken her to stand on the sidewalk so that she could wave to King Christian. Sometimes she had waved back to the two of them and smiled. Now you are special forever, Lise had told her once, because you have been greeted by a king. Anne-Marie turned her head on the pillow and stared through the partly open curtains of the window into the dim September set in her night. Thinking of Lise, her solemn, lovely sister, always made her smile. So she turned her thoughts again to the king, who was still alive, as Lise was not. She remembered a story that Papa had told her shortly after the war began, shortly after Denmark had surrendered, and the soldiers had moved in overnight to take their places on the front. One evening, Papa had told her that earlier he was on an errand near his office, standing on the corner waiting to cross the street, when King Christian came by in his warming manner. One of the German soldiers had turned suddenly and asked a question of a teenage boy nearby. Who is that man who rides past here every morning on his horse? The German soldier had asked. Papa said he had smiled to himself, amused that the German soldier did not know. He listened while the boy answered. He is our king, the boy told the soldier. He is the king of Denmark. Where is his bodyguard? The soldier had asked. And do you know what the boy said? Papa had asked Marie. She was sitting on his lap. She was a little girl, only 7 years old. She shook her head, waiting for the answer. The boy looked right at the soldier, and he said, all of Denmark is his bodyguard. And Marie had shivered. It sounded like a very brave answer. Is it true, Papa? She asked. What the boy said? Papa thought for a moment. He always considered questions very carefully before he answered them. Yes, he said at last. It was true. Any Danish citizen would die for King Christian to protect him. You too, Papa? Yes. And Mama? Mama too. And Marie shivered again. Then I would too, Papa, if I had to. They sat silently for a moment. From across the room, Mama watched them, Aunt Marie and Papa, and she smiled. Mama had been crocheting that evening 3 years ago. The lacy edging of pillowcase, part of Lisa's trousseau. Her fingers moved rapidly, turning the thin white thread into an intricate narrow border. Lise was a grown-up girl of 18 then, about to be married to Peter Nielsen. When Lise and Peter married, Mama said, Anne-Marie and Kirsty would have a brother for the very first time. Papa, Anne-Marie had said, finally into the silence. Sometimes I wonder why the king wasn't able to protect them. Why didn't he fight the Nazis so that they would come into Denmark with their guns? Papa said, we are such a tiny country, he said, and they are such an enormous enemy. Our king was wise. He knew how few soldiers Denmark had. He knew that many, many Danish people would die if they fought. In Norway they fought, Anne-Marie pointed out. Papa nodded. They fought very fiercely in Norway. They had built huge mountains for the Norwegian soldiers to fight in. Even so, Norway was crushed. In her mind, Anne-Marie pictured Norway as she remembered it from the map at school, up above Denmark. Norway was pink on the school map. She imagined the pink strip of Norway crushed by a fist. Are there German soldiers in Norway now, the same as here? Yes, Papa said. And Holland, too, Mama added, looking across the room, and Belgium and France. But not in Sweden, Anne-Marie.
Now do you see why we did the map that we did? If you think back to your map and remember those countries at the very top of Europe, Norway, Finland, Sweden, okay, that can kind of give you a visual for where all of this stuff is taking place.
Proud that she knew so much about the world. Sweden was blue on the map, and she had seen Sweden, even though she had never been there. Standing behind Uncle Henrik's house north of Copenhagen, she had looked across the water, the part of the North Sea that is called the Baltic, to the land on the other side. That is Sweden you are seeing, Uncle Henrik had told her. You are looking across to another country. That's true, Papa had said. Sweden is still free.
Sweet Sweden, still free.
But much else had changed. King Christian was getting old, and he had been badly injured last year in a fall from his horse. Faithful old King Louis, who had carried him around Copenhagen so many times. For days they thought he would die, and all of Denmark had mourned. But he hadn't. King Christian X was still alive. It was Lise who was not. It was her tall, beautiful sister who had died in an accident 2 weeks before her wedding. In the blue carved trunk in the corner of the study, Anne-Marie could see its shape even in her own. Were folded Lisa's pillowcases with their crocheted edges, her wedding dress with its hand-embroidered neckline unworn, and the yellow dress that she had worn and danced in with its full skirt flying at the party celebrating her engagement here. Mama and Papa never spoke of Lise. They never opened the trunk. But Anne-Marie did from time to time when she was alone in the apartment. Alone. She touched Lisa's things gently, remembered her quiet, soft-spoken sister who had looked forward to marriage and children of her own. Red-headed Peter, her sister's fiancé, had not married anyone in years since Lisa's death. He had changed a great deal. Once he had been like a fun-loving older brother to Anne-Marie and Kirsty, teasing and tickling, always a source of foolishness and pranks. Now he still stopped by the apartment often, and his greetings to the girls were warm and smiling, but he was usually in a hurry, talking quickly to Mama and Papa about things Anne-Marie didn't understand. He no longer sang the nonsense songs that had once made Anne-Marie and Kirsty shriek with laughter, and he never lingered anymore. Papa had changed too. He seemed much older and very tired, defeated. The whole world had changed. Only the fairy tale remained the same. And they lived happily ever after, Anne-Marie recited, whispering into the dark, completing the tale for her sister, who slept beside her, warm fun.
All right, because of time, we're going to go on to chapter 3.
Chapter 3, Where is Mrs. Brooks? The days of September passed, one after the other, much the same. Anne-Marie and Ellen walked to school together and home together, always now taking a longer way, a wooden tall soldier and his partner. Kirsty dawdled just behind them and scampered ahead, never out of their sight. The two mothers still had their coffee together in their children. They began to make mittens as the days grew slightly shorter and the first leaves began to fall from the trees, because another winter was coming. Everyone remembered the last one. There was no fuel now for the homes and apartments in Purple Street, and the winter nights were terribly cold. Like the other families in the neighborhood, the Johansons had opened the old chimney and installed a little stove to use for heat when they could find coal in it. Mama used it too sometimes for cooking because electricity was rationed. At night they used candles for that. Sometimes Ellen's father, a keeper, complained in frustration because he couldn't see in the dim light what was used for her. Soon we will have to add another blanket to the bed, Mama said one morning, as she and Anne-Marie tidied the bedroom. Kirsty and I are lucky to have each other for warmth in the winter, Anne-Marie said. Poor Ellen had no sisters. She would have to snuggle in with her Mama and Papa when it gets cold, Mama said, smiling. I remember when Kirsty slept between you and Papa. She was supposed to stay in her crib, but in the middle of the night she would climb out and get in with you, Anne-Marie said, smoothing the pillows in her bed. Then she hesitated and glanced at her mother, fearful that she had said the wrong thing, the thing that would bring the pained look to Mother's face. The days when little Kirsty slept in Mama and Papa's room were the days when Lucy and Anne-Marie shared this bed. But Mama was laughing quietly. I remember too, she said. Sometimes she went to bed in the middle of the night. I did not, Kirsty said haughtily from the bedroom doorway. I never, ever did that. Mama, still laughing, knelt and kissed Kirsty on the cheek. Time to leave for school, girl, she said. She began to button Kirsty's jacket. Oh dear, she said suddenly. Look, this button is broken right in half. Anne-Marie, take Kirsty with you after school to the little shop where Mrs. Birch sells the right buttons. See if you can buy just one to match the others on the jacket. I'll give you some chrome. It shouldn't cost very much. But after school, when the girls stopped at the shop, which had been there as long as Anne-Marie could remember, they found it closed. There was a new padlock on the door and a sign, but the sign was in German. They couldn't read the words. I wonder if Mrs. Hirsch is sick, Anne-Marie said as they walked away. I saw her Saturday, Ellen said. She was with her husband and their son. They all looked just fine, or at least the parents looked just fine. The son always looks like a horror. She giggled. Anne-Marie made a face. The Hirsch family lived in the neighborhood, so they had seen the boy, Samuel, often. He was a tall teenager with thick glasses, stooped shoulders, and unruly hair. He rode a bicycle to school, leaning forward and squinting, wrinkling his nose to nudge his glasses into place. His bicycle had wooden wheels, not rubber tires like the other one, and it creaked and clattered on the street. I think the Hirsches all went on vacation to the seashore, Kirsty announced. And I suppose they took a big basket of pink frosted.
Do y'all think the Hirsches went on vacation?
No. And probably killed.
Yes, I suppose.
Probably what?
Killed.
Kirsty replied. Anne-Marie and
Maybe.
Ellen exchanged looks that meant Kirsty is so dumb. No one in Copenhagen had taken a vacation to the seashore since the war began. There were no pink frosted pickles. There hadn't been for months. Still, Anne-Marie thought, looking back at the shop before they turned the corner, where was Mrs. Hirsch? The Hirsch family had gone somewhere. Why else would they close the shop? Mama was troubled when she heard the news. Are you sure? She asked several times. We can find another button someplace, Anne-Marie reassured her. Or we can take one from the bottom of the jacket and move it out. It won't show very much. But it didn't seem to be the jacket that worried Mama. Are you sure the sign was in German? She asked. Maybe you didn't look carefully. Mama, it had a swastika on it. Her mother turned away with a distracted look. Anne-Marie, watch your sister for a few minutes and begin to peel the potatoes for dinner. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Nellie, Skylar, come here.
I want to talk to Mrs. Burton. Puzzled, Anne-Marie watched the mother leave the apartment.
All right, we're going to have to stop it right here, and we are at 4 minutes and 33 seconds. So that is where we will need to pick up tomorrow. 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Now, you need to answer the comprehension questions. You need to answer your comprehension questions. Even if you don't have a book, that's fine, because there is a PDF text of the book in Schoology, and I have also uploaded the links for you to hear the audio in Schoology. You can listen to this on a cell phone. You do not have to have a computer or a laptop to listen to this, because it is on YouTube. I know that y'all watch YouTube for other things. Your report cards, I do not need back. Your report cards, I do not need back. You just keep them. All right, do not forget, if you have my book, if you borrowed my book, please leave it on the table. If you borrowed my book, leave it on the table.